Justice of the Madras High Court, Ms. Indra Banerjee, the Chief Guest of the day, the doyen among civil servants and the patron of this endowment, Mr. Veliappa, IAS, the awardee, Ms. Ruksa Banerjee, who has evoked a lot of pride as well as hope in this audience and far beyond this audience. Ms. Helen Pennant, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. For the very thing that one is punished in one's department, one is often celebrated outside, which is thinking. If you're punished for thinking in the department, outside the department, one is celebrated. And I must thank Mr. Veliappa for this opportunity to speak on a few concepts. Indeed, it is the cross-pollination of ideas, disciplines, concepts, technologies, and tools that leads to human creativity. What takes imagination to creativity is what is just an idea becomes doable. When it is doable, it becomes creativity. A motorist was once whisking past a chicken on the road, and he found that as he accelerated, the chicken was accelerating. When he went at 30, the chicken accelerated to 30. When he moved to 40, the chicken took the cue and accelerated 40, and it went on till he touched 70 kilometers, and the chicken was going faster than him. And the motorist was wondering what's happening, and he suddenly saw the chicken take a lane. He decided to follow the chicken, and he found that it led up to a farm. And he found the farmer there beaming and saying, "That's my chicken, and all these chickens can run as fast." And the motorist asked him, "But how does it taste?" He said, "You have yet to catch one to know how it tastes." So innovation is useful only if it is having utility. And therefore, we need to look at education from that angle, whether education fosters conformity or creativity. Lord Macaulay's concept, with all apologies to our guest from Cambridge, was to make Indians conform to a pattern of thinking. But Indians, by and large, have outpaced that expectation and moved on to become innovators thanks to the wonders of English education. Truly, one of the greatest legacies of education is the English language itself. And I'm glad that the awardee is taking up English literature as her field of study. As Linda Neyman says, for innovation to flourish, organizations must create an environment that fosters creativity, bringing together multi-talented groups of people who work in close collaboration together, exchanging knowledge, ideas, and shaping the direction of the future. I have become synonymous with this concept of friends of police. But the idea is born from a verbal trigger, which is part of my education. When I was studying French, the word for a policeman was agent de police. So I believe that at the subconscious, this level is operated. And in experience, when I was leading the former Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi, and the world's first woman bomb and human bomb exploded, and I was thrown injured in the air, and subsequently, when a young man cradled my head in his lap and gave me drops of water as I was virtually dying of thirst due to loss of fluid, that experience became the seed of this concept of friends of police. When an untrained civilian could come to the aid of a severely injured police officer. So this concept was born in my mind in the year 1993. When I said, how do I humanize the police? How do I get the support of the environment, of the vast numbers of the public? how can one policeman be able to police 10,000 people unless he has the support of the 10,000? And therefore this concept was born, probably I believe at the subconscious level, from that verbal trigger of agent de police. Next. This is the emblem that was created. So the normal paradigm is people versus police, which is dysfunctional both for the police and the people. But the new paradigm is the next. There is an interconnection between the police and the people. And as the former Prime Minister, who in fact laid the foundation of the British Metropolitan Police, after whom the nickname, the sobriquet for the British policeman Bobby came. The people are the police and the police are the people. So each one of you has an inner policeman in you. And when you become a FOP, you are sublimating or realizing or fulfilling that inner policeman. Next. This led eventually to recognition in the form of Her Majesty the Queen's Award for Innovation in Police Training and Development 10 years later in 2002, which enabled us to set up with the Corpus a project center, a documentation and multimedia training center in Chennai, with the help of which we have trained 100,000 friends of police, people like you from all walks of life, students to retired professors, bureaucrats, and so on, as well as police officers sitting with them in the same location all over the state with the same multimedia program to alter their mindset. What we discovered that training worldwide happens in the paradigm of knowledge first, skill next, attitude last. But as I would share this page with Rupsa, that the ideal pattern for education and training is ASK, attitude first, skill next, knowledge last. Next. So these are vignettes of the training that took place over the last 15 years in different parts of the state, with policemen in uniform as well as civilians in Mufti sitting together attending the same program, leading to mutual understanding and cooperation in the field. Next. And in the recent
में एक बच्ची ने पीएम का काफिला रोक दिया, या यूं कहें कि प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने एक बच्चे से मिलने के लिए अपने काफिले को रुकवा दिया। वाकया उस समय का है जब किरण हॉस्पिटल के लोकार्पण के लिए सर्किट हाउस से निकले पीएम का काफिला जब कतार गांव के दरवाजे तक पहुंचा, तब रोड की दोनों तरफ विशाल संख्या में लोग खड़े थे एक झलक पाने के लिए पीएम की, और इस दौरान एक छोटी सी बच्ची उनकी।
So you see here in that picture where the Honorable Prime Minister had stopped to hail a little child, you find friends of police in that Gujarati town of Surat assisting the police in such sensitive bandobast. So the idea has spread across the country, and Delhi police has introduced friends of police. So what started locally has begun to influence globally. Next. Here you have Professor Biharu Yui of the Hiroshima University, who had done her doctorate on community policing with special reference to Friends of Police movement. And now we move on to the next part, which Mr. Veliappa referred to, which is the idol wing. In the last 4 years, we have been able to retrieve a lot of heritage objects, statues and idols, objets d'art from different parts of the world. Just on the previous slide. So see this picture, I recovered a bit in researching for this presentation on the net, that Friends of Police as a concept has moved to even across the globe. It has been introduced in a small town in Arkansas, USA, so that the people feel, the police feel that they are living and working in a supportive environment. And the local public have come out with these badges so that people could paste it on their clothes or on vehicles, on various objects, to send out the message to the police that we are with you. Next. So here we have the heritage objects, an interconnection of ideas. Diplomacy for the first time connects with heritage. When the Australian Prime Minister, Mr. Abbott, decided to honor our letter rogatory not by asking us to come and recover it from Australia, but he himself flies it in on a statecraft and hands it over in a ceremony to the Honorable Prime Minister in Delhi. There's a Siva Nataraja and the Ardhanariswar, a stone sculpture. Next. And this last year, again we had the Manikeswara statue and various other, the Ganesha statue, the Bhudevi, being handed over by the Attorney General to the Honorable Prime Minister. And these are the pieces which were recovered from Australia. The Nataraja, the 5-metal Panchaloha idol, which is worth 5.5 million. Stolen in a cache of idols from 2 sleepy hamlets, which was at the heartland of the Chola Empire of those days. But today they are just sleepy hamlets in Ariyalur district, unguarded, run-down temples, which were identified by mastermind Subhash Kapoor, who operated with an Indian middleman and took away 26 idols at the, in the dark of night many years ago, 2002. We do not know the exact date because even the report was not sent to the police on time. But through investigation, all these leads were uncovered. Next. The Uma Parmeshwari, which was recovered from the Singapore Asian Civilization Museum. Next. The Ganesha, which was recovered from the Toledo Museum of USA. Next. The Manikya Vasigar, which I just showed you, which was handed over to the Honorable Prime Minister last year. Next. The Bhudevi, which is worth $1 million, which is recovered based on our information by Homeland Security in Manhattan. Next. And this is an idol that we brought back last year, myself and the Chief Investigating Officer, Ashok Natarajan. We were able to visit the USA and bring back 2 idols, including this. Next. And this is the Ardhanariswar, which was, partly mutilated. And this was also recovered from Sydney. Next. So you see a total of 7 objets there were recovered, which are valued at approximately 63 crores, or nearly $10 million US. Next. This is a picture of my receiving these 2 idols last year from the district attorney in New York. Next. Thank you. So thank you once again, sir, for the opportunity.